Hi, my name is Blakely. I've been sober for 7 years and I use breakout pain medication, and today we're going to talk about that. To start off, one of the biggest things that have been helpful for me in this journey is having a pain scale designed for someone in chronic pain. I'm going to take a pause here and insert it. I use the scale to determine what number of pain I was in on a daily basis. That way I could find my average, like my baseline. And that way I can also find a number associated with really high pain days to know what that looks like for me and my body too. Second thing I want to talk about are tools. This is a cervical heating pad. It comes up for the neck and it goes into the shoulders and the coat hanger area. I also have a cold version of this. This for me personally works really well for my nerve pain, and the heat is better for muscles. A regular cooling pack. This can go on the bottom of my back. It can go on my stomach. I can put it underneath my legs whenever they decide to have spasms but not walk. I like to use topical lidocaine as well as topical menthol. I like these have the roll-on. I feel like for applying it at home, it's a lot easier. I can just, you know what I mean? Crook that neck and try to apply it to my upper back instead of something like the creams. I also have these lidocaine and menthol patches. Whenever my nerves and my muscles are both revolting, this is a good 2-in-1 punch. A KT tape is also a godsend. I'm not hypermobile, I don't have EDS or anything, but where my muscles get weak, they struggle to hold my joints where they're supposed to. These are really dirty, but we're not gonna talk about it, okay? Okay, compression. Compression for the bicep and the tricep. Also have compression socks. I use them for my legs, not just for dysautonomia, but they also help with the muscle spasms. This is like the holy grail for me. My intense unit. It has settings for my nerves as well as my muscles. So these are the tools I use before turning to breakout pain medication. I personally like to talk to my partner / caregiver / accountability buddy to assess if I really need to take that, if I need to go to the doctor instead, if I have exhausted all my options, and usually I have, but it's nice to have someone to bounce off of, if you will, who has seen you, knows your body, knows your pain levels, knows if you're using all these tools to try to reduce the frequency that you're taking these medications. On the note of her being my accountability buddy, I also like to have her count my bottles here and there. I will give her the bottle, I will have her count it, make sure that I am not using more than I'm supposed to. Personally ask her to make sure I'm not using more than the 1 tablet a day that I like to use, like my personal limit. And if I'm noticing I am, then I need to look at what I'm doing in my day. Am I pushing myself too hard? So I'm really good at overdoing it and not realizing it until I can't move and I'm in so much pain. Outside influences, have we had a lot of appointments that week? Has the weather been flip-flopping? That can be a catalyst for pain. Is the pain something new? And if it's so, I probably need to go to my doctor and make sure that the breakout pain medication is still the right course of action to take. This is really helpful because as an addict, it can be really easy to feel like I'm back in that headspace of, oh, I'm doing something bad, I'm doing something wrong. So it's not just to stay accountable, it's also to help me have reassurance that I'm not a bad person for wanting to be able to transfer to go to the bathroom. I'm not a bad person for wanting to have the pain to go away enough to pick up a protein shake. That's not bad. That is the bare minimum, actually. I really want to talk about this because I see a lot of stigmatization in the community. We're going to be in pain for the rest of our lives. So I can definitely see the hesitation there. But in the same breath, if I'm going to be in pain for 50 years and it's going to get worse as I age, I want to make sure I can manage it now so I can live my life to the absolute fullest that I can while I'm still young and still in the least amount of pain that I'm ever going to be in.